Hello, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students preparing for competitive exams like CFFR and SCR to clear their exam in the first attempt. Now, I have with me one of my students who has been able to clear the SCR exam in the last attempt, okay, and in the April 2023 attempt. And he's going to be talking to us about his journey, his challenges, and how he was able to clear the exam in his first attempt. So we have with us Anuj. Anuj, thank you very much for joining in. And for the benefit of the audience, if you can give a brief about yourself.
Hello, sir. So I am working in a treasury risk management team where my key working in the market risk profile. Uh, I am a part of a banking book, interest rates, more of the market risk side of the things. So yeah,
Mhm.
this is my uh, little bit of basic side of the things on
Job
working
that you're
on.
doing. Yeah.
Before, yeah, and before
And
that, I was in a actuarial analysis part.
actuarial analysis. Okay, okay. And when did you decided to go for FRM, or what was the trigger for sorry, go for SCR, my bad. Go for the SCR exam. So what was the trigger for you?
So basically, what was happening that in my organization, the lots of discussion about climate risk. Climate risk is moving into the enterprise risk management team is sitting here.
Mhm.
So they are saying that every risk team or something in a front office, you need to do something about climate risk or something because there are net zero targets for the uh, my bank. There are also lots of motivation behind it that the UK, all the companies who are working on that needs to work on that climate risk side.
Okay.
So, but the current scope is not very much high in the organization. People know about climate risk
Mm.
somehow, but they are not very well versed in because it is not been taught or somewhere else uh, by any of the curriculum or something like that. So that's why uh, I search all these things and find out that there is one course which got a very good organization is giving the opportunity. That's why I thought that I should
Okay. And did
move
you
to
check
S.
for any other course related to climate risk, or did you must have done your research? So have you seen any other course and then you came out to GARP?
Yeah, there are some type of courses which are available in if I Google or something like that. Uh, but uh, organization has say want to line ourselves into the climate risk, so they are also providing some contents with the climate risk side of the things like
Mhm.
different courses from the university of different UK universities. But that are very basic in nature that are not very deep inside that thing. So when I was joining SCR, I was also not know, but I know the GARP organization that it is a very good organization. It do a very uh, uh, good evaluation of the particular subject which you are working. So that's
Got it.
why.
Okay. And then when did you start your preparation? Which date, if you can tell me? So on April was your exam.
Uh,
So normally
yeah,
when
so
start?
on 1st of March or 2nd of March, I have asked you, I have searching the courses on 1st or 2nd March. It was a weekend, I know that on that day. I was searching all this thing and then I got to know you that you are giving some trainings and question banks and some theories of the SCL summary or something like that. So at that day, I thought that it is. I called you first of all time that sir, I want to pursue this course and how much you inspire me that if you can work in if you work for 1 month or 1.5 month, you will able to succeed in this exam. So I
Okay.
studied accordingly.
Yes, and you joined our video lectures package and all. You were looking at that
Right, right.
content. So how much time you were giving on a daily basis from that 1st of March onwards?
So uh, I was not giving so much time for the initial some days
Okay.
In March, I have given approximately, you say, more time in the weekends, but less in weekdays, like 1 2 hours in a weekdays, and
Okay.
more on the weekends that I can study or learn SCR course content. I basically firstly read all the theories or the summary notes you have provided. That's the first attention for me.
Okay. And what was the difference between your SCR content and your job role and the previous education that you have done? Is there any difference in content?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a great difference in the content because SCR digs on the concepts. Basically, what have you read? It's not coming directly in the exam or something like that. It's a
Correct.
kind of a case study exam that you are a risk manager or something like that, working in some profile, and then there are four options that then it's come to the concept. So it digs in the concept, not on the theoretical side of the things. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's a great difference between them.
Okay. And uh, you also started solving the question bank, right? So what was your
Right.
approach? So you were watching the video. I'm just asking you a question. Like, you were watching the video, reading the textbook, and then solving the chapter-wise questions, or what was your approach that you were following?
So on video side, I am seeing the videos, but on a little bit high pacer side of the things. Like, but I have read your theory notes. Firstly, I read your slides or something. Complete your
Mhm.
slides. Then absolutely the GARP book. The GARP book is the one which I have to read a lot of time to understand the concept, the theory behind it, and then I solved all the questions papers you have asked. There are four sets of questions, and in the total of the gap of your uh, training, and I have solved all these questions. But I have just solved three question mocks every week or something like that. Uh,
Okay.
for if I read one chapter, I just solve three. Uh, I have left with a one mock so that I can revise. Then I can go with that another mock
Okay.
cycle.
Okay. Just for the
So
benefit of
I
the
have
audience. So what actually Anuj is trying to say is that for each chapter we have question sets. So when he's completing one chapter, he's completing three sets out of that chapter, and one set he's doing later, so that when he revises, he will come back to that chapter and solve that fourth set of questions. Right?
right, absolutely.
Okay. And what was the major challenge that you faced in your entire 2 months of preparation that you were doing in terms of content? Which chapter created a problem for you?
Main challenge was the climate risk management chapter or measurement chapter, the sixth chapter, which is something, and the climate scenario. These are some of the little bit tricky chapter, uh, which needs to read two, three times, four times before going to exam. So
Okay.
I have focused on these chapters first of all. That before the exam, I know that these are the some of the tricky. I will not know very much about these chapters, so I
Hmm.
focused about on these chapter a lot. And I on the irony part, I also got the one quartile in these
First
chapters
quarter.
only. Yeah, in this chapter only.
Okay, okay. No, I agree because a lot of people they got in the first and the second chapter, they got low quartile, either three or four. But the sixth and the seventh chapter, which is related to the modeling piece, where they got a good quartile and they've been able to clear the exam. So primarily what you're saying is sixth and the seventh chapter is what you face challenge. The rest is not was not actually very difficult. Now, when you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
solving the full length mock papers, which we had provided, four mock papers, what was the average score out of 80 you were getting?
So I am getting 55 to 60 in the average in the question paper you have provided me, not the GAP.
Okay.
That is something averages you can be 55 to 60
And what
marks
about
I am
GAP
getting.
sample paper?
And in the GAP sample paper, I am getting 48 52 48 52 in this line only.
Okay, okay, slightly lower. Okay,
Slightly
now
lower. That GAP is little bit tricky side of the
tricky.
thing.
Yes. So on an average, you were above 48 in all the
Right,
mocks
right,
paper.
right.
Now, when you went for the exam on the day of the exam, first of all, uh, was there any challenge at the center? I mean, in terms of
Yeah.
getting a seat, there was. Okay. What kind of challenge it was?
Yeah, so when I have chosen a center where it is a college, so there was no any marking of that. It is a Pearson center or something like that. And my
Okay.
exam was 15 minutes after that timing. I was 15 minutes left only when I was finding that center or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the really challenge. Then someone, I have asked some professor that I am in exam, and then he
Hmm.
called someone, and that's that's how I reached 2 minutes before the exam paper.
Oh, okay, okay. But when you reached the center, they asked you to sit immediately and start the exam.
Right, right. They have
Okay,
immediately set up all the things. They have immediately taken my passport and all these things and start that.
okay. And when you sat for the exam, immediately the question started. Was there
Right.
any disclosure NDA or that you have to
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
to?
There are some. I just agree on that. You have already written
Acha.
in your chat that just agree on it. Don't waste your time on that questions.
Yes. So basically, for the benefit of the audience, there is a at the start of the exam, they give you a non-disclosure agreement where there are certain points which are written. You have to agree to it, and then only the exam will start. And you get around 1 minute to agree it. That is why I generally say that agree it and then immediately agree it and then go to the exams point. Now, out of the 80 question in the 4 hours time frame, okay. So, what was your approach? I mean, what happened in the first 1 hour?
So in first 1 hour or in one and a half hour, I have just marked all the question which I know. I have not waited for any time. If I do not know, if I read the question and if I do not know that it is coming out to me and I they feels a little bit tricky side of the thing, so I just mark to keep it as a flag and mark that I am confused between B and C or A and C or something like that, two, three questions, and just move out another question. That's my trick. So that I am able to complete the exam in 2.5 hour, 2 approximately 2 hours 15 minutes. I am able to complete all the 80 questions. And the last all the 45 minutes which I am having, I have just kept on saying the flag, if whatever I have done flag, and whatever the option I have written, I have just choose one of them which I am feeling that in by that feeling that it might be right or not. So I have choose that
Okay.
answers for that.
So, in the last 45 minutes, you revisited the flags question and you took a decision to either change the option or not that way. And how many there were any calculation based questions in your
Yeah,
exam? How many of
yeah,
them?
there are four to five calculation based questions are
Okay. But the concept was from the GAP book, but they converted
there.
it
Right,
into a calculation piece. Okay.
right.
And
Calculation is theoretical.
calculation and
Calculation.
theoretical. Okay. And out of 80, when you came out of the exam, what was there in your mind that, okay, out of 80, these many questions I will get right? Was there any number?
I am not sure about that thing. That how many questions because the time is fine for me. That 3 hours is fine. That
Hmm.
is really fine for SCR. There's no time challenge, but it is not something like that. It will be completed before that. So when I was doing the question, I was not able to get it. That this is the cut off that I will be clearing that
Okay.
for. But I know that I have done like that. Whatever the GAP SCR question paper, it is same kind of the thing. Whatever they have asked in GAP SCR, it is the same kind of toughness of the exam is like that only. So I know
Hmm.
that I am able to crack 48, 50 questions if according to my past history.
Got it. 48, 50. Okay. So actual exam is also on a similar level as GAP sample paper.
Right.
So if you have solved it better.
Right.
And was there any repeat in question? Some question which you have
No, there
already
is no.
seen? No repeat. Okay.
No, there is
Okay.
no repeat on the
Right.
question.
So, and finally, when the result came in, so we have your quartiles. It was like 3, 3. So first two chapters, very low quartiles, 3, 3. Then you got 1, 1. Then fourth quartile. This is the green chapter, the green
Right.
energy. green marking chapter. That was fourth quartile, and there was again 1-1, the sixth and the seventh chapter, which you had problem with. You got first quartile,
Right.
and the final net zero again fourth quartile. So you were able to clear the exam. Now, once the results are out, what has been the reaction of people around you? Your office people, your friends, what has been the reaction?
So they are happy and they are congratulating me that I have cleared that. It is a coming uh, uh, field which needs to be explored by the risk managers, and everyone needs to be integrated. The risk managers need to be integrated with the climate risk or something like that. So yeah, they are planning to give some of the if I am having some climate risk projects coming in, then I can also grab that projects because of knowledge that I'm getting from this.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you, Anuj. Thank you for your time, and it was great talking to you. I know this interview is going to be really helpful for students who are going to be appearing for the SCR exam in the coming October and the coming years. This will help them to plan their exam because there might be a lot of queries in their mind, and your journey would help them to motivate and understand the exam in a much better way. So thank you very much for taking out time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help also.